In this lesson, we'll review a math question from the problem solving section. We're on page 861, question 16, the final problem. We know this is a difficult question. In rectangle ABCD, point E is the midpoint of BC. If the area of quadrilateral ABED is 2/3, what is the area of rectangle ABCD? So let's get started, and we're just going to sketch out rectangle ABCD. So I apologize, my drawing is not going to be the best on these, but we're just going to make a straight rectangle here. Oh, I told you, it's kind of tough for me to do this on the spot, but this is a rectangle. It's symmetrical, even though it's not drawn to scale. So we've got A, B, C, D. And we're told that point E is the midpoint of segment BC. So here's BC. It doesn't really matter the way you draw it, you just have to be right in sequence. So if E, that is the midpoint of BC. All right, so that's going to cut this rectangle really into two halves. And we are told the area of quadrilateral ABED, all right, ABED, right? So that, I'm just going to shade it again, just to sort of illustrate it better. So we're told that whole area here, ABED, has a value of 2/3, and we want the area of ABCD, which is the entire rectangle before we had this midpoint. So this is really just, I don't think it's that difficult of a problem. It's more of just a conceptual problem and just straight problem solving, but it turns into a ratio problem. So we know E is the midpoint of BC. So this green line here would cut this rectangle into two equal halves. It's the midpoint. And then we're going from this midpoint, point E, drawing a diagonal over to point D. So if we focus on this right half, that diagonal will cut that half into two halves. And so you should recognize that this is 1/4 of the whole rectangle. This is another quarter here. I said quarter, but I wrote half. And then this would be half. So if we think about it, here's the half, and this is a quarter. So it's just really just a straight ratio question, and it would be 3/4 of the whole rectangle. So I'll just call that A. 3/4 of the entire area, remember we want ABCD, has a value of 2/3. Now I think some students get maybe a little confused because they see 2/3 and they think that's part of a ratio. But 2/3 is simply a value. This could be 10, this could be 30. I just think the test makers specifically put 2/3 to kind of throw you off, but that's just a value. So all this becomes now is just a straight problem solving. So we want to just solve it for A. And so we're going to divide each side by 3/4. So A is going to be, and I'll use parentheses, and again, if you use your calculator, it's probably easier too. So 2/3, and we're going to divide that by 3/4. Again, you could use your calculator. I always recommend looking at the answers because sometimes the answers will be in decimals. Here we have fractions, so you want to keep them in fractions. But remember, if we're dividing so by 3/4, that's the same as multiplying by the inverse, which is 4/3. And so we just multiply across and we get 8/9. That is the answer. That is the value of the whole rectangle ABCD. Again, if you use your calculator, remember if you get a decimal, you would end up with like 0.88 repeating, and you just have to convert it 3 into 8/9. But that's the answer. All right, so not too difficult a problem. The answer here is C. See you next time. Thanks for watching.